Hello everyone and welcome to my hobby home. My name is Cathy. I would like to thank you for joining me today. It is getting very close to Christmas and I'm still doing Christmas projects. I'll probably be doing Christmas projects all next year too. But the one I'm working on now is called the Tucked in Tote. I got this pattern. I actually got the kit. I got a whole kit from Quilting, and the pattern is from Karen Montgomery. This is a new tote for me to try, so I'm just going to read off of the pattern the items that you need. You are going to need a half a yard of fabric for the body of the bag. Now in the kit came, I think it's called Gnome for the Holidays or something like that. It's our gnome fabric. So this is for the body of the bag. And then you will need one fat quarter for the base of the bag, which we have some snowflakes, black with snowflakes for the base of our bag. I actually think I did an opening of this in a prior video. You can check that out if you want to. You can still get this pattern on Quilting. It's, I think, $2.99. It's between $2.50 and $3. So it's somewhere in that range. But this is a beautiful bag. It does have the indent on the side. That's why I wanted to do this, because I want a bag that'll kind of stand up on its own. And then you need 2.25 yards or 2.25 yards of 1 inch wide grosgrain ribbon for the handles, which that came in my kit. So for mine, we have the red handles. Then we need 1.5 yards of fusible interfacing 20 inches wide. I have already adhered the interfacing to all of my pieces here. You will also need 4 pieces of paper backed fusible web measuring 3.25 inches by 7 inches. Now this was not in my kit. I don't know if it was supposed to be. It was not in my kit. So I went and purchased the Easy Steam 2. This here. It's a 2-sided pressure sensitive fusible web. It says machine safe. It's made by Pelon. I was trying to see if there's something else. One side is paper sided. Well, they're actually both sides paper-sided. You peel one off, and it's got adhesive on it, and I'll show you what it looks like. When you stick, it does stick right here to the fabric. I have not pressed that yet. So I do have that adhered to the fabric, and the paper is still on the other side of it. So, let me just get you into the pattern. I will tell you what I have done. I've cut all of my pieces except for the bottom of the bag. I will cut that at some point that I'm sewing. We have to cut the interfacing into 3 pieces and put it on. This is our bag body. You put on the inside of this, and then you fold in half. This is one side of it, or the front. We'll call this the front, because the sides is going to be bent in. So this is the front. I've put my interfacing in my front and my back. I have 2 pieces of this. One's the front, one's the back. And this is, I think, the bottom and the sides. So I've got my interfacing on both, on that piece as well. So our next step, I'm trying to skip the parts that tell the sizes, because this pattern is for sale, so I'm not giving any of that information out because it is not my pattern to give for free to someone. Okay, on these, the front and the back, you will draw a line. Now, it did say you will need a walking foot, a fabric marker, wonder clips or pins. Pinking shears are optional. I don't even own a pair of pinking shears. I used to have some. I don't know what happened to them. That was a long time ago, and I've moved a lot since I had some, so it's no telling what happened to them. But you will draw your line on your back, on your fabric here, and put your double-sided interfacing. So, just showing you that part. I've gone on and placed that on here, and that is actually as far as I got prepped, because I believe that is the only thing that has measurements on it, and I can go on and get into constructing the back. For all my newcomers, my new subscribers, my new watchers, thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your busy day to just check it out. If you have not subscribed yet, I'm going to go on and plug it in here. Go on and subscribe. You don't know what you may miss. I don't know what I'm going to be putting out there. Who knows? 2024, I have kind of sit down and juggled around some ideas for 2024. I currently have a lot of things going. I don't know how well you can see everything on my machine, but you'll see right here, I have placed my walking foot on my machine. So we will be using the walking foot. This is the first time I have used the walking foot on my Bernina. So I will give you my thoughts on it once I have completed it. So I am about to pull my fabric and all here so we can get started on this bag. Okay, it looks like our first step is going to be placing our handles on our bag. That is not going to happen on the machine yet, but I am going to pull it here so you can see it. Okay, here you will see that I have the paper right on both sides here. Make sure you can see that. I am going to remove the paper on the side closest to me. Oh goodness, my interfacing's trying to come off here. I peel that off. I am to take my grosgrain ribbon. Now, I have a line here on the edge, and I am to place my ribbon on that line and press that ribbon down. Okay, so that I'm going to pull my ribbon. And pretty much what I'm going to do is fold it in half and then lay it the other direction and put it on the other side. So let me see if I can get my paper backing off here. And I have to make sure to line it on that other side. So I am going to turn this around. Making sure that I'm not wrapping or, tangling that ribbon. I'm doing this on both pieces of fabric. So here is we'll call that the front. I have my front done. And here is my back. I will do the same thing, but I have to make sure to keep it turned. I will tell you about using directional fabric. Oh, and also, Keepsake Quilting does have kits for this pattern if you want a kit. The kit does not include the pattern though. So you will have to buy the pattern separately. And I think when you buy the kit, I think it's $2.50 for the pattern. But I'm doing my front or back, whichever one this is going to be. I'm laying that gray grain, because what I'm going to do after I get this pressed, I'm going to take it over to my ironing board and press it there. I thought it was safe for me to keep using my ironing board instead of using my small thing over here. And it's just easier for me. So I may be pausing y'all and bringing you back because my ironing board is not over here beside me. It's like over there beside y'all. Because that's just where I have more space right now. Because I am still in the process of redoing my sewing room. I've still got to get my 2 bookshelves. I'm trying to get 2 short bookshelves to go in front of this window behind me, because I removed my table from back there. I really don't need 2 sewing cabinets. And this actually isn't a sewing cabinet. It's just a table that'll go up and down, which I like. So this is what I use. But I am going to go press this down. I'm going to make sure it's on right. And I'll be right back with you once I get it done. Okay, now that we have this pressed, I need to stitch this on here. How I'm going to do this, I'm using a 1/4 inch stitch, and I am only going to where my interfacing came up. You might have noticed that it didn't come all the way up. So I'm using that 1/4 inch. I think the 1/4 inch may be too much on the seam here. Now, I'm not sewing all the way up. The interfacing is measured to a certain length, and that's how far I'm sewing to, because we don't want to sew all the way to the top. So I have pressed a crease so I know exactly how far I want to go. And now I'm going to turn my fabric, and I'm going to stitch my way back down to the bottom. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just go to the other handle, and I'm going to do the same exact thing, and I will bring you guys back once I'm done with sewing the handles on and show you the next step. I now have both of the handles sewn onto, one on the front and one on the back. So now I have to start working on the base. I have my base fabric cut here. Okay, now this is where we get a little tricky. Now I know this part is tricky though. This is how we're putting the bags together. I'm going to bring you guys back over to my table so I can show you how to do this. Okay guys, right now what I am going to show you, I'm breaking out my little clips here, my fabric clips. If I can get my box to open. I need my wonder clips for this. Well, these are not wonder clips, but close enough. So what you see here is I have one side of the bag opened up. I am going to take my folded base. I don't think it matters which side. And we are going to clip this together. I'm just bringing you guys along and going to clip this together. So you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to get it closer to me so it's easier to do. I understand it may be a little harder for you to see, but you will be able to see what I have done. I probably didn't have to do this many clips. And what I do when I clip, I turn everything over to make sure everything comes where it needs to. Okay, everything looks good here. So what I'm going to do with this, on this edge here that I've clipped together, I am going to sew this with a narrow seam. A narrow seam is going to be less than 1/4 inch. Now this is where your walking foot comes in good. I have noticed on the Bernina it has a different foot feed, so I may not actually need my walking foot with this, but since it says to do it, I'm going to do this, and I will be able to give y'all my thoughts on the walking foot. I will be right back once I have this sewn. Okay, so this is what it looks like sewn. I did the raw edge side first, which I'm thinking now, reading the pattern, I probably should have done this edge, but that is okay. So now my instructions are telling me to fold this end over. What is going to happen is we're making sure our handle is tucked in here. I'm guessing it could stay here, but we need to turn this over, and it's actually probably better to keep it under that, because let me read the instructions to you directly. Fold the opposite edge, this is our opposite edge, of the body fabric up over the base, matching the raw edges. Well, no, that is the raw edge. This is the raw edge. The base and handle will be inside. Clip or pin the edge together. Check to make sure that the handle will not be caught in the seam, and stitch along the edge a second time using a 1/4 inch seam. So what I will do now is match these edges. I have watched a video on this being done, and I cannot find that video anywhere. It was on this kit's product page where you click on the kit. It was there, but this is now gone, and the video can't be found. I thought when I clicked on the video, it actually carried me to YouTube. I have looked on YouTube to find it, and I cannot find it. So I am going to try to replicate this for you the best that I can. So I have all of this clipped right here. I'm shaking it down so I know my handle is not going to be caught in this right here. I am going to sew this at 1/4 inch, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I have completed this. This is what it looks like. So now what we do is we turn this inside out. So I am turning this piece right here. You will see. I'm hoping I didn't catch my handle in there. I shouldn't have. It is now telling me that what I should do is press this, but I have a good press on this, but I do think I need to press that really well. So after I press it, I will bring you right back. Okay, so here we have our base and our front or back side. Now we repeat this process for the second side. So let's remember how we did our first side. We have our front or back opened. Now this is my loop right here, and our base, so our base goes right here. Now we have to remember our handles need to be going together. They're going in the same direction. Let's make sure. So when this goes on the base here, let me show you here. When this is our base and sewn together, we have a handle here and a handle here. So I am going to get my panel or my front or back. This is my base. Now we have to make sure our handles are going the same direction. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and pin this or clip this, because like I said, we're using the same exact process, and I'm hoping that should be correct. But we'll find out if it's not real quick. Because I'll have one going one way and one going the other way. But I feel pretty confident this is correct. And you'll see what I'm doing here is clipping the base on here. Now I have seen several of these, and I have seen a lot of comments that this is not a real easy thing to make. I'm hoping this video makes it real easy for you, because I'm going to tell you, I watched the video that they had out there several times, and it's really simple. I'm going to sew this at less than 1/4 of an inch, and I'll bring you right back. Okay, so now I have this opposite side, and this is the one that's already sewn and looped. What we are doing is creating a no seam bag. So we need to pull this piece to this raw edge. To make this easier, we're going to roll this up like this. So this way our handles are not loose anywhere. We're just going to roll that out of the way, and we're going to match these edges right here. We're going to clip these edges, and it's easier to do this holding it up so the weight keeps most everything out of the way when you're clipping it. And notice I keep shaking it. That way I know nothing else is pulling up in this that shouldn't be in here. And since there's a lot of fabric in there, yeah, I'm making sure. Now, what I'm doing here, I'm just going to put my hands in here, and I think what I'm going to do is just put a clip to keep that folded down. So and that way you'll see how it's down like that. So I know it is out of my way, and I can sew this at 1/4 of an inch now. Okay, so this is going to be our tiller here. I am going to pull this back through. I don't need that clip in there anymore, keeping it out of the way. Let's hope our handles are going in the opposite directions. This is the first time I have made this, but like I said, I watched that video, and even the lady doing the video, she said sometimes that gets confusing. So look at there. Yes, our handles are going in the correct directions. So now what I need to do is press this seam, and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, so I have our back pressed. Now our next thing that we have to do, and I do want to show you, notice there's no seams anywhere. You cannot see a raw edge anywhere on this. So our next thing that we are going to do, we have this open. We are to fold our bag in half. It says with the inside together. we're going to press a fold in the base of the fabric. Handle should be on the outside of the bag. So my handle, this is the outside of the bag. When I turn it this way, that's the outside of the bag. I am going to take this and then put a press right here in my bag. Okay, you see here where I have this pressed right here. Our next step is we need to get this into a W shape. And how that happens is we fold this up It's easier if I turn it upside down. We fold this up. And it may even be easier if you can see it like we have this with our crease put in it. So let me show you that. When you crease that there, you grab that crease. This will be an easier way to do it. Fold it up to your seam right there. So we have that seam. We know that one is even. Then we fold this part of our bag up to that same seam. We want to make a W in the bag. And how you know you've done this, you make sure, now your handles are going to be on the inside of the bag. You can pull this one up and just make sure the top of the bag is even. And that should make these even as well. So now what I'm going to do is, first off, I'm going to clip my W. This is my W right here. And I'm going to check my folds once I do this. We have everything even, because we want that top even, and we can do any adjustments that we have to down here. So I'm turning this around so I can look at my folds. I'm checking these look even. This is the inside of the bag is out. Our handles are on the inside right here. So now what I'm going to do is start clipping these edges here. And what I start at the top of the bag, because that has to be even. Got the top of my bag. And then I'm going to come to the thick part right here where the other seams are at. Then I'll come over here to the top of my bag. And I will be sewing from the top of my bag to the base of my bag. That way, nothing pushes this way and makes this off. We can always adjust down here. So I've got my bag clipped. I'm going to sew this and I'll bring you back so you can see what it looks like. Okay guys, this is our finished seam right here. It does say that you can finish this with a zigzag, an overlock, pink and shears. You can do that. I think it's safe to say if you'd like to put a little bind on this, like binding, that would be fine as well. That would look real nice. I think it even suggests that in the finishing. Yeah, you could do a binding on it as well. It doesn't matter to me if it has it or not. But I want to show you guys this bag. So what I need to do is turn it inside out. I may end up finishing that, but I want you to see what the bag looks like. Now, we have these pretty finished. This helps it stand up. So here you go. Here is the Tucked in Tote by Karen Montgomery. We'll show you that edge right there. Look at that. This turned out beautiful. I am so happy I have finished this bag because I'm going to use it for Christmas. Now, what I may do, I may finish that edge, I may not. It doesn't matter to me. But what I may do is put a magnetic snap or something on it. I may even put Velcro all the way across because I do like a purse that closes all the way. But I really like this purse, guys. This is beautiful. I love this. See, got your handles. You've got some long handles. I would use a thicker ribbon, maybe a canvas ribbon or something. But yeah, this pattern came from Keepsake Quilting. It is a Karen Montgomery pattern. It's the Quilt Company Designs by Karen Montgomery. It's called Tucked in Tote. This is my version of it. This is, look at that edge, y'all. And notice it does stand on its own. No hands on it. It does stand on its own. This is the inside. You have a completely finished bottom. I can finish this seam here. So, one moment and I'll give you my opinion on the walking foot. Okay, thank you for staying with me to watch me make this bag. This is a lovely bag. I will probably make several more of these. I love this bag. And it's the perfect size. Let me see what the top finished at, about 16 inches. And it's about an 11 by 16. So this is a nice bag. I will give you my review on the Bernina walking foot. It was not hard to install on my machine. It's really just a flip of the lever. I actually found it easier if I installed it from the back without removing the needle, because you do want your needle threaded before you put that foot on, because it don't do good. It won't thread the needle with the walking foot on there. You get an error on your machine showing it's the wrong foot. But the walking foot, I did not have a bit of trouble going through this right here that had 6 layers. I think that was 6 layers. 4 layers. So it did it really well, real easy. I think the walking foot, now had I just had my regular foot on there, I might have had a little tugging going on with it, but overall it worked really well. I like it. I think it will work great with it. It's a very sturdy part. I'm looking at it and it looks like all of the parts are metal, except for maybe the casing that goes around the outside that closes all the stuff in. Everything else looks like it's metal. So guys, if you are still here with me making this Tucked in Tote by Karen Montgomery, give me a thumbs up. If you have not yet subscribed, go ahead, click that subscribe button. Leave a comment. If you have not made one of these, you've got to go get that pattern. And watch the video over and over and over again if you need to. It is so easy to make. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this. And as always, until I see you again, have a very blessed day. Goodbye.